Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about how can you ask questions to audio file. Now audio file could be having any kind of data, whether it is news feed or if you are listening some podcast or any of the educational content. So it completely depends on what kind of source you are. So we can even take audio file which is stored locally on your machine, or we can supply the URL which exists somewhere on the web. So before getting started, let's have a quick look at what all things we are going to do in this particular video. So the first thing we need to do is we need to transcribe our audio to text, because LLMs are text based and we need to have a text before passing anything to them. So the first thing we will be doing is we will be transcribing our audio to text, and this we are going to do using Assembly AI. Next, we need to generate the embeddings, and here we will be using OpenAI embeddings. As a database, we will be going with Chroma, which is an in-store database, in-memory database, and the LLM we are using here is OpenAI, and the LangChain is the one which is going to wrap all these components together. So the very first thing here you need to get started is the API key, and I think you are already aware how to get the OpenAI key, but I can quickly show you about Assembly AI. So you need to go to assemblyai.com and it will ask you for sign up if you are doing it for the very first time. So once you have signed up and logged in, you will see a page similar to this page, and on the right hand side you can see copy your API token. So you can grab your token from here and get started. So let's move on to the code. So I'm already in my virtual environment and I have uh, set my keys, as well as I have imported few of the libraries. So the first one is retrieval QA, which we are going to use to create QA chain for us. Then we are using chat OpenAI model, and here you can see that rather than OpenAI or like directly OpenAI embeddings, we are getting different names because this we are taking it from the LangChain, and that's why I said I'm using LangChain as a wrapper for all these things. And then we have a one from Assembly AI audio transcript. It is a loader which can convert our audio file into a text, and then we are using recursive text splitter, which is going to split our huge document into multiple or sub documents. Here Chroma is our in-store database which will behave like a vector retriever. So let's get started by writing a few more lines of code here. Let me quickly show you what kind of audio file I'm trying to use. So this is the file from NBC, and I can quickly show you. Let's listen to this.
Load time, a new president, and new congressional makeup. Same old partisan divides, right? Yes and no. There's the traditional red-blue divide you're very familiar with, but there's a lot more below the surface going on in both parties. Let's set the table. About 4 in 10 registered voters identify either as Democrats.
So this is a sample. Let's not spend time on listening this audio, which is close to 2.5 minutes. Rather, I would simply go ahead and start writing few lines of code, wherein first of all we will go ahead and load this audio file. So let it sit on the web itself rather than downloading it. And here I am going to use Assembly AI audio transcript loader. So this is the loader which is going to take parameter as a file path, and this file path I can grab it from here. So we are done with file path, and we can simply call load over here. If you want, you can do this thing in next line as well, that's not a problem. And then I'm going to just print the doc so that you will get to know what this transcript is. So let me execute my first cell. It is still importing the libraries for me. Okay, next I'm going to transcribe the audio file. So here you can see that this is the content which we just heard. Load time, a new president and a new congressional professional makeup, some old partition device, and all these things. So this is exact content which is from the audio file. And one thing I want to highlight here is, so here we have page content, and at the end we are expecting some sort of metadata. But when you are using this assembly AI, it is not generating that metadata attribute, rather it is showing you something like this, like some numbers, some words, and all those. So if you are interested, or if you can figure out something out of this, then you are most welcome. But if you are not interested, so from here onwards, let me scroll it a bit. Okay, so here you can see that from here it is showing you words and some numeric value associated with that. So if you don't want this, you can just go ahead and replace it. In my case, I'm going to replace it with some metadata, and that metadata should tell me which audio file is this. Because in this case, I'm taking just one audio file, but feel free to take multiple audio files, and because it can take a list of files as well. So let's go ahead and update the metadata. We have only one document, so I'm just using 0. But if you're having multiple, then you need to go ahead and iterate it using some looping mechanisms. So we'll say audio URL, and here we need to define where that URL should sit. So I would say doc0 dot metadata, and inside this will pass this particular word. Okay, and let me go ahead and print this. Oops, so perhaps I did some mistake. Audio URL. Oops, my bad. It should be with underscore. So this should work now. I will go ahead and replace this as well. Let's try this. And now you can see that we have the same text, but this time rather than those junk values or the list of words, we are having metadata, which is nothing but the URL of our audio file. Okay, so now we have the data, we have data page content. Next thing is we need to chunk it down, and for chunking it we are going to use the recursive character reader. Let me create a variable name text splitter, and inside this we need to pass in what would be our chunk size. So I would say chunk size, we can keep it 700, because I just want to show you that how many documents are constructed out of this 2.5 minutes of audio. And I would say chunk overlap as 0. It's okay to miss some information here and there. So once this is done, next thing is we need to call split documents, because we want to see the list of all the documents which were generated. So we'll say text splitter dot split text, split documents. Inside that we will be passing doc, which is nothing but a variable which is holding all the information. And let's go ahead and save it in a variable texts, and I can quickly show you how it looks like. So you can see that now we have the 4 documents, so it got splitted based on the chunk size of 700. Next thing is we need to go ahead and use Chroma, and we are going to generate the embeddings for this text based using OpenAI embedding. So I'm going to create a variable. Let's go with the standard variable db, which is going to use chroma dot from documents, and inside this documents we need to pass in texts, and then we need to pass in our embedding. So even you can use Hugging Face or any other embeddings which you want. Then we need to instantiate our LLM, which is based on the chat OpenAI, and here it will take parameters. So model, let's go ahead and use GPT 3.5 Turbo. 3.5 Turbo. And the next parameter would be all those default parameters which you want. You can specify it, otherwise you can just skip it, temperature, or and Let me run this as well so that we can make sure that nothing is wrong with our code till now. Okay, so next thing, just two more things are remaining. One is the query construction part, and another one is the retrieval QA. So for retrieval QA, I'm going to use MMR, which is short for maximum marginal relevance, and this is the default. By default, all most of the vector stores or the retrievers use a similarity search, but if your store supports MMR, then definitely I would recommend you to go ahead and use it. In our case, Chroma does support that, so I'm going to stick with the MMR itself. So let's create a variable. Let's call it retrieval QA from chain type, and here we need to pass in LLM. Then we need to say retriever. So here retriever would be based on our database which we just instantiated above. And we need to mention the search type here. So search type, like I said, it would be MMR, but feel free to change it based on your requirements. And here because we are using MMR, we need to explicitly specify what or how many closest matches we are looking for. So here I would say just fetch 3 for me, but again you can adjust this parameter based on your choice. So inside this I would say there is a fetch k, and here value would be 3. And let's put it in a variable name chain itself. Okay, I would love to execute this first. Okay, the only thing remaining is constructing the query and getting the response out of it. So our query would be, let's go ahead and ask what this audio file is all about. And then we need to use chain, which is going to execute this query for us. And inside this is a JSON, so it's like a key value pair, I would say. Query, and you can just say what your query is. Okay, so I think we are good to go. Let's execute this. Let's execute this. And you can see that the result is here. The audio file discusses the current political landscape in the United States. So this is what it has spitted out. So I hope you got an idea of what we are trying to achieve. So whenever you want to extract the content out of your audio, you just need to first extract the text and then pass the LLM using the similar mechanism which we are doing earlier. So you need to split the text, you need to generate the embeddings out of that, and then you need to decide upon which vector database do you want to take so that you can query it using the retrieval QA. So this is the high level picture of how you can do it, and this particular use case is very useful for student, or I would say anyone who is very much into the podcast thing or who is watching so much of educational videos. So sometimes what happens is whenever we watch any video, we got an idea, but after some days again we get some questions that what was that point, or I forgot this particular point. So rather than spending time again on watching the entire video, you can just go ahead and ask the questions and it would save lot much of time.